How long is it since we've spoken?
2018. Not much happened, right?
Yeah, right. Wow, okay.
And right now you're going. Like, how are you?
I'm good, actually. I'm really good. Excited and juggling a lot.
Do you choose projects that make you a little scared?
No, I choose projects because I feel compelled to tell the story, or I'm really, really interested in the person who is the director or the writer or the group of actors. So I have many different, I have been known even to choose a film because of the location. So so I'm quite erratic in my choices. There's no method to the madness. There's just a lot of spontaneity and then the desire to always go and do something that I feel excited about. Because time, as you get older, becomes the most precious thing.
It's so true. And I want to talk about that a little bit more too, because we've talked about how busy you are, and I'm curious how that preciousness of time plays into that. But first, going back to Babygirl, what was it about this project that made you say, I have to do this?
The title? No. But initially I was like so intrigued by the title. And I sat down, read it, and that was it. From the minute I read it, I went, okay, it was in. It went in from the minute I read it.
What was it?
It was so new, and it seemed so relevant, and it seemed modern, and it was also a female gaze. It was the woman at the helm telling the story of the protagonist, who was a woman, and it only told her story. It was her journey, and it was funny and entertaining and sexy, and I was like, I've never done anything like this, and I would love to do it. If I think back, I think I was wondering how we were going to do certain scenes.
What was the most challenging part for you?
Hoping I could fully realize the role, that I could tell the story from the deepest part of who I was, that I would have enough ease with the other actors, because so much of it is about when you're acting together, and acting is a together. There's no alone when you're acting. You're in the scenes with other people, you have a crew around you, and all of that energy has to be, it has to be good energy for it to actually come through on the screen. And I think particularly with something like this, we had a crew that was extraordinary, because they were right by our side, and we had to hustle because it was low budget, and you're constantly trying to make your days, and anything you don't get is going to hurt the film, because it's not like, oh, well, we'll just kick that down the road and we've got the money to do it by going over a couple of weeks. There is no going over. You don't get it? Oh, well, rewrite. But we had this team, and a lot of them were men, going, we want you to succeed, and we want you to realize the vision of this. And they were so supportive of Helena. And the actors, Harris Dickinson, who's amazing, and Antonio Banderas, and Sophie Wilde, and then a whole group of actors that Helena handpicked and found, and everyone was so good. And that's exciting.
Was there any point where you thought, oh, I don't know if I can do this?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of it is stamina, because I'm in every frame of the film.
You're in every frame of the film?
Yeah. I think there's one little thing where I'm looking down at Esme and Samuel talking. That's Harris and Sophie. And so there's one shot that I'm not in.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Every frame. So yeah, stamina.
Yeah.
So
But emotional and physical stamina. And it's not asked for a lot, that sort of but what a gift, because to have a character at the center who's this woman who's having an existential crisis, but it's going to be told in this particular way where it's not punishing, where it's actually you're with her, and even though some of the things she may be doing you don't agree with, you can still be fascinated and hopefully feel something.
So how did you overcome those moments where you thought, maybe I can't do this?
Because I pushed through those things. Like if I had let my life be controlled by the moments when I felt I could do something, I would pretty much have done hardly anything.
Was there a particular time when you thought, maybe I'll give up on this whole acting thing?
Yeah.
When?
Of course. When I gave birth to Sunday, I was like, well, I think I'm pretty much done now. And I'd moved to Nashville. We were living on a farm. And that's when my mom actually said, I wouldn't give up completely. Keep a finger sort of in it. And I'm like, no, I'm done now, I'm done. She's going, just listen to me. I think keep moving forward. Not saying that you have to do it to the level you've been doing it, but I wouldn't give it up completely. And that came from a woman, you know, who obviously was from a generation that didn't have the opportunities that I had, that she had helped create for her daughters. She came and didn't have that. So that's probably was something that she wished she'd had advice when she was little, and she didn't get that. So she was able to give that to my sister and I. My sister is now a lawyer. She became a lawyer in her 40s. She has 6 children. So it's fascinating to me that we both, and there's only 2 of us, just keep going, you know. And we're inspired when we look around at the other women in the world who at a particular age do keep going and are still raising their children and doing the things that they love, but also have careers and not apologize for it, you know.
Speaking of...
You would know.
Right.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And there's times in which you can balance it and you do less, and then you can do a little more and you do less, and finding that balance is part of the journey. Because you make mistakes, you overdo it. So then you go, okay, now I've got to go and take care of this part of my life because it's suffered. And so that it's constantly rebalancing.
And do you feel like you're doing that constantly?
All the time.
Yeah? Oh, I overdid it here, now I got to balance here.
Yeah. And probably the thing I'll do, and my husband's always saying, take care of yourself, Nicole.
That's what he tells you?
Yeah.
Take care of yourself?
Yes.
Do you listen?
Yeah, I try to listen more now. I've had many other people say it to me too. And the final words my mama said, which I didn't know were going to be the final words, I was going to get on a plane and go back to see her. And she was like, maybe wait a minute, because I think, you know, you just need to take care of yourself right now, Nikki. So I'm doing that more. And I say that to other people in the world, yes, and particularly women, I think. We tend not to take care of ourselves. We'll take care of everybody else, but the last person is here.
And how profound that was the sentiment that your mother left you with.
My grandmother left me with, be happy. And my mom said, take care of yourself. So, wow. And obviously I'm an older mother, so I want to be around for a long time for my girls. They're amazing girls, and I'm lucky to have them. So taking care of myself means so that I can take care of them.
When we spoke the last time, you seemed to have a very keen sense of your own mortality. You talked about really just wanting to be around for your kids.
Did I?
To see your
oh my
kids
God!
grow up.
So
yeah.
It's this reverberating thing. Yikes! You're like my therapist. Right. Okay. Yes. Probably then. I would like to be around for a long time. Who knows? I don't get to choose that, right?
And there's this story that you asked Reese Witherspoon about, do you think about dying? Because I think about it a lot.
Well, I think I've, maybe less so now, but it is very much a part of our trajectory as human beings. I'm very interested, you know, I'm the daughter of a psychologist, biochemist, and a nurse. And so, of course, I've seen a lot, and I've seen people suffering, and I've seen people in pain, and I've seen those things. So that probably impacted me deeply as a child. My mother had breast cancer when I was 17, so I had to take care of her, and it was an aggressive breast cancer, so it wasn't like a, oh my gosh, it's all probably going to be okay. It was actually, the outcome wasn't good, but boy, what a fighter. And breast cancer that was not the thing that took her down. So that's a very nice thing to be able to say to people. She was a survivor, 84, and she was diagnosed at 45, so young.
Wow. Do you think part of why you are so prolific, that you work so much now, is that sense that time is fleeting?
Probably. Yeah. Probably. And also, I have a lot inside. I think the way I connect is through stories and storytelling and playing people and having the opportunity to reach out in this quite isolated world now. And it's my way of connecting and my way of understanding and my way of building more and more understanding of what it means to be a human being.
And do you feel like you need that to keep going, kind of that connection? Does that feed you?
It's a privilege. I take it as a privilege. I know so many people that don't get to do what they want to do, so it's a privilege. So it's why I'm always like, and I love to be able to, if I can help get something made, I'm like, okay, let's do it, let's go. I have an unbelievable family who travel with me a lot of times, who are involved in so many of the decisions. I think everyone in our family is artistically minded, so we all get it, and it's very, very open discussions about things. We have breakfast together every morning, so even if I'm working, I'm up. My dad would always be in the kitchen when I got up as a little girl. I like noise in the kitchen because it creates a home. And
so you have breakfast together every morning?
Yeah, yeah. And there'll be times it'll be just Keith and I, and then the girls will come down, or, but yeah, and then if I'm working, then it'll be like a grabbed moment quickly, but it's that, and then dinners. So even with what I've got now, I've been able to juggle things to accommodate my family, which is a fantastic thing. I enjoy my home, I enjoy my family, and I enjoy my work. And then I have a tight group of friends, but I'm not out on the social scene a lot. I'm not, I have gone, okay, where am I not going to get to? I'm not going to be the party girl. I'm not going to be the girl who goes out till 2 a.m. I've done that when I was younger, but that's not my priority.
Doesn't interest you?
Not really. No.
And like we said, there's only so much time on earth, and how are you going
I
to
also
spend
like
it?
putting on my jammies and coming home.
Do you? Are you a homebody?
Putting on my bed socks. But we do have a rule: you can't put your pajamas on before 5 p.m.
Why do you have that rule?
Because otherwise you can get into them a lot earlier. Not a good thing. Especially when it's cold and dark.
That's very true.
No, we can't be all sloughing around in our pajamas too early. You got to make an effort. So yeah, and I always say to everyone, the best gift for me is pajamas. I love pajamas.
Do you have a lot of
pajamas?
pajamas?
And cozy socks. Yes, I have drawers full. But they're tatty a lot of times.
They get worn.
They get worn.
So they might be under the Christmas tree
How do we get onto this?
I don't know.
So I need pajamas. Girls.
There will be shopping days before Christmas when this airs, so they'll have time.
This is a very deep interview.
Yes, this is very important.
Hey, come on, priorities.
So going back to Babygirl, when you started shooting, is Helena a director that starts with the tough stuff? Like, did you go right into the intimate scenes, or did you ease into those?
The whole film is intimate.
I guess that's true. It really is.
Like, what do you mean? So we just started where we started. I actually can't even remember what the first scene was. There was no easy day, put it that way.
There was no easy day.
No. There was never a day where you go, oh, okay, someone else now is going to take over and I get to just be in the background. No, it was always, and they're rigorous scenes, they're complicated scenes, it's complicated storytelling. So no, it was always, every day was intimate and every day was full on.
What were you like at the end of those days?
Exhausted. I got COVID during it, so.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But most people did. But, you know, it was just exhausted, but incredibly amazed that we'd done it. And I felt unbelievably close to everyone who was involved in making it. And so, I mean, we had the first AD and the AD department who'd be like, they were just hustling, working every day. We had the camera operators and the grips, and everybody was like, okay, okay, okay. And I mean, it's, you know, New York winter, cold and long hours, and you just hustle, you get to it. And it was exhausting and exhilarating, and what an incredible opportunity and gift to be able to tell this story. And, you know, the people that put up the money, you go, thank you. Thank you. Because they don't have to do it. And it's not a sure thing. So it's more that always staying in that place of this is a privilege, and I'm very, very lucky to have it.
Do you think part of what makes you do your
Weird.
job well? Weird. Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
You can say it.
No, do you think part of what makes you a good actor is that ability to feel intensely?
Probably the thing that I have is the ability to feel, like really feel. So if I go and do my work for women, or I go into hospitals, Keith and I will work where we go and he'll bring his guitar and we just, you know, in the oncology units and different places. And I have to not absorb someone else's emotions.
Because that's your tendency, that's what you tend to do.
Yeah.
And
yeah, too much. It's detrimental. And Keith's always said, you're like a raw egg that I have to be the shell for.
Do you think that's true?
Probably a bit, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have like a lot of emotions, yeah, that I can access and feel, and I definitely have access to it. Like, it comes immediately. Yeah, I know. So kind of, yeah, because I always say also boxers, like they're told to go in the ring and box, and like then they have to step out of the ring and not touch anybody. So you got to know when you're in the ring. Well, that can get very blurry, right? So as an actor, we're put in the ring and we're told, feel, like really feel, like real tears, real emotions, skin changing, like really, really be. And then we're put back in the world and told, no, no, now be totally together. Like, that's where the technique comes in. Because when you're young, you're like so porous. And as you get a bit older, hopefully, you're not as porous, but you're still connected, empathetic, caring, and kind.
Your mom was looking forward to seeing Babygirl?
I don't know. She didn't say that.
Oh, she didn't say that. Oh, I thought you had said that.
I think she was like, why are you doing it? No.
Did you share with her what it was about?
Yeah, she knew. She knew everything. That's probably the biggest loss, is you lose the person that knows everything, that loves you anyway. You go, oh, yeah. So there's that. And I think it's interesting because you go, wow, 3 months on, and people say to me, well, she was 84, good life. You go, yeah, but that was my mom. That was, it doesn't matter what age someone is. And I love when people say, there's no limit to your grief. You don't have to have a time limit on it. You don't have to be all better by this time. So you're allowed to constantly let it pass through in waves. And it's people go, oh, well, whatever. But it's my mama, my life, and I'm allowed to process it and grieve in the way I want to. And that's important, I think, to hear that, because I think a lot of times I'm like, oh, well, get it together. Why am I suddenly emotional now? Get it together, Nicole. Get over it now. But that's been something that people have been very, very generous with me, going, it'll take whatever it takes.
Yeah, there is no time limit. And it does come in waves, and you never know when it's going to hit.
Okay, so move on now. Yeah, but it's like, it's a different road, you know, when my papa passed, and I suppose it's good to talk about it all because so many people in the world are going through it. So, but it's just it's a whole other thing. Both parents gone. It's like, whoa, okay, wow. Andrew Garfield's spoken about it beautifully.
Yeah.
I wish I was as eloquent as he is.
You are eloquent.
Not really.
And I think it's
raw. I'm raw.
But that's okay, and
It's
I
okay.
appreciate your
Yeah.
sharing it because,
Well,
like you said, people...
Move on, quick.
Okay, we're moving on.
Now
People
I'm
go through
embarrassed.
this. Do you feel like this now is a moment? You know, all of these awards, the festivals, several hit television series. Do you feel like you're in this moment right now?
No. I'm just me. No, but I think because I've had so many years of so many different things happening, and I'm fully cognizant of where I am. I'm wide awake. I'm in this world. I'm curious and grateful and amazed. I love the word wonder because I still have a lot of wonder and a lot of excitement about what's to come.
Meryl Streep said that she, in her introduction to you for AFI,
Yeah.
said that you were so great that she was traumatized acting with you.
Not true. No.
Hearing that?
Meryl Streep has always been the person that I've sort of moved towards, because she's talk about juggling a lot and being fully cognizant and wide awake. To have her give me that award, and the minute she was asked, she said yes. My gosh, that is extraordinary, and I want to do that for others, you know, because she's done that for me time and time again, as have many of the actresses in this business. And so the idea of being able to do that for them is deeply important to me. I know a lot of young actors now that will be needing someone to show up and give them an award. I'll be there. Yeah, because it's always bringing it forward, passing it on. Pass on your knowledge, pass on your wisdom, share, be generous, help people grow. We only do better when we do that, and it's so gratifying. I love it. It's so satisfying.
You've said that filming Babygirl was more challenging than Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
That was like a 15-month...
Yeah, but I was
marathon.
only in parts of that. That was harder for Tom because he's in everything. Babygirl, I'm in everything. And it's his story in Eyes Wide Shut. In Babygirl, it's my story, you know, so it's a different, it's the male protagonist primarily in Eyes Wide Shut, even though it is about a marriage and a couple. In Babygirl, yes, it's about a marriage and a couple, but it's told from the woman's point of view. Kind of great.
Yeah, it's kind of full circle.
Well, it's great that Helena, right now, that these women, and Susanna Bier, who did Perfect Couple, who I did Undoing with, that these women are front and center. I have so many projects that are, you know, going to be helmed by women, that are written by women, that are helmed by, and not only, I work with lots of incredible men, but it's wonderful to see something like Babygirl entering into the world and having its place and creating its lane so that it can then create more opportunities for more people who are women, coming up to go, well, I can primarily write for a woman and I will get my financing and I will get my story made.